Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. With power comes great responsibility. This course will open you up to a form of power that you've always been looking for, but you were looking in the wrong direction. Adam flew all the way out from London after reading my book, Cracked Female Code. That book is impressive, guys. It gets people. Most of my clients have flown in from out of state or out of country. He flies in, and one of the things I noticed was it was about the third day he was having what we call cognitive dissonance. This is where you believe something, but then someone or something in reality is showing you that your belief is completely not true, but that this other thing is absolutely true, and you're seeing it work in reality, but your brain's like, well, wait a minute, that's not what I believe. So essentially, cognitive dissonance is when you have a mental conflict occurs when beliefs are contradicted by new information. This conflict activates areas of the brain involved in personal identity and emotional response to threats. So essentially, Adam kept saying to me over and over, but this isn't what the relationship experts are teaching, Mike. This isn't what so-and-so's book says. This isn't what the pickup artist courses. The pickup artist courses say the opposite. Now, one of the things he was proud of is how many courses that he's taken throughout the world. He's from London. He flew out from London. And he kept bragging how he spent thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on all of the greatest courses on the planet on how to pick up women, seduce women, turn women on, understand women, and on and on. So I said to him, so why are you here? He goes, what do you mean? I go, why did you come all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, all the way across the entire United States land, and come to the West Coast to see me? He goes, well, I told you I want to get married and I want to find a girl. So then I said, okay, wait a minute. So then why did you take all those other courses? He goes, Mike, they're the best courses in the world. I go, on what? He goes, well, how to seduce women, pick up women, turn women on, how to save your marriage, how to have a good relationship, blah, 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 blah. I go, so I don't understand. If they're the greatest courses in the world, then why are you here? Now, this is a very typical male experience. So on the one hand, he's telling me these are the best courses in the world. And then on the other hand, he came out here to see me to take my course. This makes no sense. Yet he couldn't see it. But here's the deal, guys. Women do this to you all the time. They'll tell you what's wrong. They'll explain to you, and then you won't hear it. Because a lot of men, when a woman finally leaves him, whether it's a divorce or breakup in a relationship, he's like, I don't understand. I thought everything was going great. And I'm like, yeah, for you it was going great because you were getting what you wanted out of the relationship, where not only was she not getting what she wanted out of the relationship, you were giving her a fucking headache. And you were stressing her out. Not to mention completely and totally turning her off by disconnecting her from her mating system and thus forcing her into her logical left brain. So I had to almost scream at Adam and say, what was your purpose for taking those courses? He goes, I told you, blah, 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 blah. And I go, so why are you here? And he just looked at me like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, Adam, are you even listening to what you're saying? I purposely had him say it out of his own mouth over and over and over and over. So he couldn't 5 minutes later deny that he said that. And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, Adam, you keep telling me you've taken the greatest courses on the planet. You spent tens of thousands of dollars. I go, if those courses are so fucking great, why in the fuck are you here? And I screamed this at him, and he looked at me. He went, huh. And here's the deal. He was seeing it, but he was in denial. He didn't want to just go, holy shit, those courses were a waste of fucking time. Because here's what I said. I go, if those courses were so fucking great, why in the fuck are you here? If those courses were so great, you wouldn't fly all the way halfway across the world and spend time out here taking another damn course. You'd be out there picking up on women and seducing and turning women on. Now here's the fucked up part. Oh, you thought that was the fucked up part? No. So we would go out to lunch, and then come back and do another 4 hours of training, and then go to dinner, and then we go to a club, and women were all over me. I mean, he was just like, dude, everywhere we fucking go. He goes, this is insane. I go, yeah. He goes, they literally walk up to you from across the room. I go, yeah, it's because I'm doing this internal awareness stuff. He's like, but it doesn't make any sense. He goes, this isn't what Mystery teaches. This isn't what Vin DiCarlo teaches. This isn't what there's this, I can't remember that British guy. This isn't what so-and-so teaches. I'm like, and then I literally yelled at him, how well does that work for you? And I had to be so obnoxious for him to go, wait, what? Because what I'm doing is I'm popping him out of his pattern. I have come to learn to call it the male oblivious pattern. See, here's the deal. Men are stuck in their left brain. The left brain is literally inside a box. That is the matrix. My job is to get you the fuck out of there. There's a huge concerted effort to put you in the matrix, to keep you in that locked box. You ever heard of the phrase, think outside of the box? That means get outside of your logical brain. The logical brain is in the box, mathematical computation, scientific rule, structure, organization. It's literally a framework. It's a structure, and you don't know how to escape. That's what I do in my course. I teach you how to escape that and open up to the right brain. Why? Because the right brain is the real brain. It's literally, listen closely, the 5 senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. The left brain is where you read a book. You read words. That's what the book says. That's what the book says. The right brain is the physical, experiential brain where you get out there and physically do it. That is how you learn, and that is how you absolutely know. That's why some people say, I have a knowing, because they physically did it. So the reason why Adam was saying one thing and yet not admitting, well, the reason why I'm out here in California from London is because clearly that shit's not working. Because if it was working, he'd be seducing the crap out of women. And yet, here's what he was telling me. I go, it's like, he's like, in the beginning, I pay for dinners, and I pay for vacations, I pay for this, I pay for that, and you end up arguing and fighting, and she walks away, just like in this movie, The Notebook. Now, here's the fucked up part. So we would go to a restaurant, and he was in his $3,000 business suit, and he'd walk up with his perfect haircut and looking, hey, look at me, and he would literally, his voice would, hi, my name's Adam, blah, blah, table for two. All 4 girls turned around and walked away instantly. And he looked at me like, what the fuck, dude? I'm thinking, well, I don't know what it's like out in London, but in California, you don't talk to people like that. So literally, one of the girls leaned over to the right and points at me, because I was about 4 or 5 steps behind him. Because I was like, I didn't want to be a part of his energy, because I was like, I don't want to be connected to that bullshit. And she goes, sir, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, table for 2. She goes, your name? I go, Mike. And all the girls started to giggle. And he looked at me like, what the fuck, man? Because I was wearing just a pair of shorts, flip-flops, and a fucking t-shirt. So then we went and sat down. And what ended up happening, this was a big restaurant, by the way, and a waitress from the far side had saw us. Now, here's the deal. He noticed how she kind of locked onto me like the hostesses did. And he kind of like, he was getting pissed, okay? Now, this is the whole cognitive dissonance thing. And we were sat down by the hostess, and she said, a waitress will be with you in a minute. And about 2 minutes later, this waitress from the far side came all the way over, and she looks at me, and she goes, can I help you, sir? Now, it's like Adam wasn't even there. And I'm like, yeah, we get some water? You know, we didn't get the menu yet. She goes, oh, I'll get that for you. She got us some water, the menus. So I asked her, I'm like, are you our waitress? Because I saw her on trust me, this was a big restaurant. This was huge. And I go, are you our waitress? She goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, why did you come over here? And she goes, well, I just wanted to see if I could help. I was like, okay, well, thank you. And she walked away kind of dejected. And Adam goes, you're not kidding, are you? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He goes, women literally walk up to you. I'm like, oh. I go, you started to notice, huh? He goes, I don't understand, though, but you're not doing anything. I go, Adam, I am doing something, but you can't see it and you can't hear it. The reason why is because you can't see it from the left male brain. You have to learn how to open up to the right brain, and then voila, all of a sudden everything that's been right in front of your face and said in front of your face gets revealed. Here's the thing, women don't hide this from men. They never have. They've said this stuff in front of your face your whole entire life since the day you were born. The problem is the left brain processor cannot pick up on it at all. Now, we were pretty much not quite at the half part of the course. Now, I was beginning to teach him these techniques and how to open up and how to open up to the right brain, etc. So I said, Adam, the problem is I can tell by looking at your eyes and your pupils, you're in your left brain right now. You have to do the techniques. Everywhere we go, you have to open up. And I said, the reason why you can't see what I'm doing is because you are literally in the male brain. The minute we walked in the fucking front doors, you shifted from this open space, because that's why I took him out, because okay, he's finally there, and I'm thinking this would be a good time to take him out in public so he can experience how it shifts everything. But the minute he opened the door, boom, he went back into male. He marched up, Mr. Macho, egotistical man, Mr. Logical man, and even his voice went from this very open, relaxed tone and voice and right brain voice to this logical, linear, external voice, which turned everyone off. So we go to a club. Same thing. Bouncer looks at me and goes, hey, excuse me, sir. I'm like, yeah. He goes, would you like to go in? Like, because there was a long line. He's like, yeah, sure. And I go, I'm with this guy right here. He goes, he kind of looked at him and almost put the brakes on because Adam was in Mr. Linear mode. And he goes, yeah, come on in, sir. Don't worry about it. Come on, head of the line. I was like, cool, awesome. So once again, women approached me, talked to me, would reach out, touch me, grab my hand, buy me drinks, which is a very typical experience I have with women. I'm serious. And Adam is just fucking, he's pissed. He's just like, because Adam's looking at me like, well, I'm more successful. I make more money than you. I'm better looking. I've got a better suit on than you. I'm dressed nice. I'm clean cut. I've got a $150 haircut. You know, all the bullshit that men think is what women want. So again, the next day we did the first half of the course, and then we went out to lunch, and on the way back, Adam was pissed, and I mean verbally, just like saying stuff to me, and then he started to yell at me, and I'm just looking at him and go, what are you mad about? And he literally burst out in tears, and I mean just bawling, and I mean crying. And what ended up happening was, I said, you know, we're going to take the rest of the day off. I took him back to the hotel. I go, why don't you just get some sleep? You probably need some sleep. Why don't you just eat some good, healthy food and just relax and don't do anything. Don't go on the computer. Just sleep and relax. I go, watch a movie or, you know, something like that. Just don't get on the computer. Don't get into your thinking brain. Just relax. So the next day we came together, and he was completely transformed. He got out of that competitive ego, male, logical, focused, serious, and he was just open. He was just relaxed and open, and he goes, I wasted my money on all those courses. I'm nodding like, yep. He goes, but why did I believe it so much to where I was literally like advertising it to people? And I said, because you're logical. Okay, here's why. These courses are left brain courses. So they make sense to you. But just because something makes sense doesn't mean it works in reality. That's the difference. Right now, I have a feeling a few of you, your brains are beginning to fry. Because the male brain truly trusts the male brain, even though the male brain is completely disconnected from reality. The male brain's job is to literally delete, distort, and generalize 99.999% of all the information. The male brain is designed to look under a microscope. What do? You use pure water, and I think the water's purity has to be, if I remember right from science class, 99.96 or 99.6% pure, because you can't have other impurities mixed in with the bacteria or the molecules or atoms or whatever you're going to be working with, okay? It has to be a pure environment. In reality, There's bacteria, there's temperature changes, there's moisture changes, there's all kinds of changes. You've got bugs, you've got insects, you've got wind, you've got all these different factors in reality. The left brain's job is to figure things out by dividing and separating things. And this is the brain you use when it comes to relationships, and you can't figure out why she feels so separated from you. For a woman to have the emotional feeling of being separated or disconnected, it is the absolute worst feeling a woman could ever feel in a million years. It is horrendous to her emotional system. I teach this to you in a way that you can physically feel it, and you'll be like, holy shit, is that what women are going through? Yes. The closest thing I could compare it to is when my best friend of my whole life died. It literally felt like something reached into my chest and my solar plexus and pulled something out, like it had this empty cavity. It was the worst feeling, and I had it for about 5 years. This is why women get so angry at men and why women will suddenly ask for a divorce. The thing, it wasn't suddenly. They've been complaining for years, but you never heard it. Again, because the left male brain cannot process or pick up right brain languaging or communication. But because she doesn't understand this, she just thinks you're not listening. It's not that you're not listening, it's that your radar system can't pick up on it. So essentially, the reason why Adam and other males' brains will look at these courses and think they're real and they work, etc., even though they don't. Adam couldn't pick up on a girl for the life of him until he finally surrendered and was willing to go, okay, I'm ready to learn. At this point, he started to take on the teachings. He started to take on the learning. It was kind of a little late in the course, so he ended up flying back out another time to go over it, because he had wasted a lot of time arguing and disagreeing and saying, this isn't the way mystery does it. I don't give a shit. So one of the times he said that, I said, well, does it work for you? And he goes, what do you mean? I go, well, let's go out. Let's go to a coffee shop right now. Let's go to this bookstore with the coffee shop in it. Show me. He goes, what? I go, show me. He goes, oh, well, yeah, exactly. The question is, does it work for you? And that's my mastery. Teaching this in a way that your unconscious mind and your emotional system absorb it. So you can begin to automatically, unconsciously begin to do these things. Hey guys, this is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalcode.com. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next video. Remember, click subscribe, click like, and to get started, buy my book, Cracked Female Code. Alright guys, see you in the next video.